What's going on, Jeromes? Beautiful day for some Q&A. I got the Jesse Pinkman look going on today. Yeah, bitch. Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. First up, Scully. I'm not sure if you've answered this 15 bajillion times or not. Is there a point where Greenard missing sacks starts to become concerning? And yes, I know pressures are the more important stat rather than sacks, but Greenard not getting sacks when he gets his hands on the quarterback seems concerning. What do you think? I feel like at a certain point, we're halfway through the season, where Greenard probably should have eight, 9 sacks at least. And I don't know. I'm sure it's something that he's working on. I'm sure it's something that's coachable, where it seems like when he gets to the quarterback, he aims high. Goes after the quarterback's upper torso, and the quarterback can duck under that. I don't know. It's purely anecdotal, purely non-trained eye thing, but just I don't know. Target the midsection, target the hips, target the whatever. But everything will come. Like we've seen, Greenard had, was it 12 sacks, 12 and a half sacks last year? One of the two. And, he had a career high in sacks last year in the same defense with Brian Flores. Everything is there. The pressures are there. He's getting to the quarterback. Just got to get home, right? And also, he set up several sacks for other players where Greenard gets the instant pressure, quarterback moves off the spot, and then the other player, it's clean up in aisle 5, right? So, Greenard, more is required, but he knows it too, and no one's more frustrated than him. But Greenard, I love Jonathan Greenard, man. He's fantastic. He's going to be good to go. Next up, number 2, Levi Lackey. What do you think is the minimum number of wins to win the NFC North? Probably 11. That's probably what we're looking at. So the Packers and the Lions and the Bears allegedly all have 5 wins. Packers, Vikings sitting at 4-4. Packers allegedly 5-2-1. Whatever. Yeah, but the Vikings are probably looking at 10, 11 wins to get this thing done. Go out and get the biscuit. And I do think that you can see 6 or 7 potential wins the rest of the way. You got 9 games left. You have 5 of them at home. Your road games are in chunks. Green Bay at Seattle, and then Dallas at the Giants. So it's going to be tough. But also the fact that the Vikings still have 4 division games, 3 of them at home, kind of feel good. Make me feel good about things. Plus, obviously, tomorrow's going to be tough against the Ravens, Lamar at home. But if you can get this thing done, take care of the Bears at home, you're rolling to Green Bay at 6-4. Green Bay is sort of reeling right now. I feel like we sort of lost our identity. The defenses, don't want to say it's figured out, but offenses just straight up aren't having these long developing passing plays. They're running away from Micah Parsons, essentially. And with LaFleur, no one is more frustrated with Matt LaFleur than Packers fans right now. They hate Matt LaFleur. It's Garbaggio. All right, so go out there and shock the world. Go out and beat Seattle's ass. So it's what we do. Next up, number 3. Christian Augustine, OG Jerome. Is Van Ginkel the single most important player on the defense? It can't just be a coincidence that the game he returns, the game we dominate the Kitties. Well, with AVG, and we've talked about this before, he is a force multiplier. He does make multiple positions better. And Kevin McConnell and Flores talked about this week too. It's not just, he's a big-time player, sets the edge, has a knack for big-time plays, but also, obviously can get after the quarterback, 11.5 sacks last year, career high, but also communication, getting everyone on the same page, because it's one thing. Okay, you get the call in from the sidelines, and then Cashman disperses the calls, and everyone plays the defense. But what about if and when Cashman, Greenard, Van Ginkel, Harrison, Metellus, what if they see something in the defense, and can you communicate a switch up on the fly? Can you defensively check on the fly? And I feel like that communication tree, it's exponentially sped up with Andrew Van Ginkel, right? So I feel like AVG really is just an important player. There's several quarterbacks on the defense back there. You have Cashman, Van Ginkel, Metellus, Harrison, and Van Ginkel's just really, really solid and good to go. And also playing into that, Diamond Dallas Turner. Mike Schreier, do you think Diamond Dallas Turner will get more snaps this next game? So I feel like it was a personnel matchup against the Lions, where the Vikings went a little bit heavier. And Flores has talked about how the Vikings have 3 starters on the edge. Van Ginkel playing a little bit more off ball, but I feel like we'll see with Turner, where his snaps went from obviously with AVG out, it went from like about 85% of the Vikings defensive snaps. Actually more than that, all the way down to 14 against the Lions. But I feel like that there still is a role there. I feel like the potential is still there. I feel like he's still ascending, right? And also, like we talked about, I feel like they are molding him to be more of a Andrew Van Ginkel, jack of all trades player versus just a straight speed pass rusher like Greenard. No, Greenard's more than that, but you know what I mean. All right. So keep faith with Turner. Everything will work out. Next up, Ray Petty, OG Jerome. If Christian Wilkins heals up before the end of the regular season, should we consider taking a chance on him if we make the playoffs? The Wilkins thing is so weird. And yeah, he is working back from injury, but was that like that story was dominating the headlines for like a day and then it went away. Something really odd happened with Wilkins and the Raiders. And I know that there's tons of rumors and speculation, all that stuff, but it just seems weird that there's been zero steam with Wilkins about signing with the team. Seems like he's healthy and good to go, but I don't know. Especially Flores was asked about Wilkins months ago when the Raiders and him parted ways. Flores is very diplomatic about the whole situation, so I don't know. All right, and Wilkins, obviously the talent is there. Obviously the Vikings could use another body along the defensive line because you can never have enough D linemen who can get their own rush. But I don't know. It's just so weird. And you wonder if the silence of all parties means that there's going to be litigation coming up. So I don't know. Lastly, bonus one, Blake Kettler, another OG Jerome. Non-football question here. Got a cold that's kicking my butt. What are your go-to cold remedies? Also, are you going to do something big when you eventually hit 100K skull? Well, we used to do like the Four Loko celebration, except I feel like we need to be a better example for the youth, for the next generation. All right. I don't know. We'll do something. Yeah. Colds. So you'll hear it on here sometimes, like maybe like once a year, I'll get like a cold or a sinus infection or something like that. But you got to keep battling through because we yammer on in this hobby here. But for me, so grandmas are always right. You notice that? And bone broth, like straight up bone broth. And I know not everyone can make their own soup and stuff, like you live in an apartment or something. But hell, you can still do that. Yeah, but just getting the bones, from a butcher or from the grocery store, beef bones, chicken bones, pork bones, and just boiling the ish out of them. What we like to do is, so we'll do this every week, where, especially this time of year, we'll get Costco or Sam's Club chicken. Sam's Club chicken is actually better than Costco, but then take all the meat off, and then you got the carcass. You got the bones, you got the cartilage, you got the excess skin. And just put it in a crock pot overnight with some garlic and some onions, and then just fill it up with water and put it on low overnight. Oh my God. And then you wake up to phenomenal, like chicken stock, bone broth. And just do that, do that with beef bones, do that pork bones, and either just drink the broth, because then you get all of like the nutrients, got all of the marrow. Oh, also with the chicken, what I like to do is roast the bones first in like we'll toss them in the air fryer, just roast the bones, get a little something extra on them, and then we'll actually go through and either break the bones or saw the bones so that the marrow is exposed, so then all of that stock just like leaches out the marrow and the goodness out of there. And that's what Grandma did. I mean, Grandma made soup from bones and stocks and scraps of meat and everything, fork tender, everything good to go, but it's the marrow that heals you. Yeah. Also, just like old school vegetables like rutabagas, I feel like there's something that has healing properties with the rutabagas. I don't know. Sometimes they're hard to find in a grocery store because not every grocery store carries them nowadays. Other than that, Try and get some good sleep. I try to avoid drugs as much as possible. So like I know people go hard in the paint on Dayquil and then NyQuil to knock themselves out. Except I know you get a good night's sleep. I've actually had like interesting thoughts about this as of late, where if you take melatonin or NyQuil or some other aid to put you to sleep, you don't really sleep. You're just out. All right, so all the recuperative effects of the brain, the body, sleep, you don't really have it. You're just like knocked out cold. I don't know. Get a lot of sleep, get a lot of hydration, get a lot of electrolytes. So I know people go to Gatorade and stuff, but I literally just like salt and water, or the bone broth is gonna have salt in it too, because you put salt in it. Yeah, but that's basically it. And I found just hot liquids, hot as possible. Coat that throat, know what I mean? And just you feel better. Oh, also, if you can get steam, or at minimum, just like take a really hot shower, get that steam going. If, like your gym or building doesn't have a sauna, but yeah, that'll loosen you up too. That's it. Oh, ginger tea, ginger barley tea. That's all. If everything fails, drugs. That's it. No, disclaimer. Anyways, that's it. I don't know what we accomplished today, but Q&A for this beautiful day. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.